Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today I thought I'd discuss Dr. Ratio and everything I noticed from the livestream. Basically, everything you need to know about him from what we do officially know so far. I'll also be talking about why I believe you guys should build your Dr. Ratio and what potential synergies he could do. If you guys do enjoy videos like these, make sure to subscribe and also hit the like button to support the video. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. First, I gotta say, Dr. Ratio being free is awesome, since we all get a beautiful Dr. Ratio and can use him on our accounts. Also, his personality is really funny to listen to, since I love his confidence and also, in a way, his ego and how he acts about everything when it comes to intelligence. Now though, let's talk a bit about his kit. Dr. Ratio will be our first imaginary hunt character. And for his basic attack, Dr. Ratio smacks an enemy with his codex, which is the book he holds onto, and deals imaginary damage onto a single enemy. His skill deals an attack to a single enemy, but right after that attack, there appears to be a chance to deal a follow-up attack onto an enemy, and the more debuffs on an enemy, the higher the likelihood of Dr. Ratio dealing his additional follow-up attack. Little pop-ups do happen after his attack though during his skill, which may imply that Dr. Ratio also has his own debuff that perhaps he can inflict onto an enemy. His ultimate also deals single target damage to an enemy, where he creates this tower and literally crushes the enemy with it. And he also inflicts Wise Man Folly onto an enemy. This is awesome for even more follow-up attacks, because when an ally hits an enemy that is inflicted with Wise Man Folly, Ratio will inflict a follow-up attack onto them. And if you look at his health bar, he has 2 stacks, which means he'll be able to deal 2 additional follow-up attacks when Wise Man Folly is inflicted onto an enemy. His technique creates a field where one of his statues basically gets created and they taunt an enemy, and there's a chance in battle for Dr. Ratio to decrease the speed of enemies at the start of a fight. This is pretty nice for being able to take advantage of those debuffs that Dr. Ratio would want to maximize his follow-up chance happening after his skill. Some other things about his kit is that he can increase the crit rate and crit damage he has, depending on how many debuffs are onto enemies. We don't know if there's a cap on this just yet officially, but this can make Dr. Ratio quite powerful depending on how much crit rate and crit damage he can get on his own for being a nice single target DPS to use on your teams. From what we've seen on the livestream, honestly his kit is pretty straightforward. He's a follow-up centric single target damage dealer. He definitely wants those debuffs onto enemies, so I thought I'd now talk about potential synergies. Right off the bat, I feel like Dr. Ratio and Topaz are going to be an incredible pair together, the duo if you will. Topaz can debuff an enemy with proof of death, and since both characters can deal follow-up attacks and what it appears to be consistent follow-up attacks assuming you do have those debuffs on the enemy, these two can likely do very good together, since Dr. Ratio can benefit from proof of death, as that is a debuff, and Topaz can benefit from the potential of Dr. Ratio's follow-up attacks, since Dr. Ratio can control who gets hit from his follow-up attacks when it comes to his skill, since you are picking who you are attacking with this skill, and for his ultimate, you can control who Dr. Ratio's follow-up attack will hit with Wise Man Folly, because the requirement is that an ally hits an enemy, and then Dr. Ratio will attack that same enemy with his follow-up attack. Which, an example of this, let's say Topaz did a basic attack and then Numby went up, and then Dr. Ratio ends up doing that follow-up attack right after Topaz. Now Numby is going to attack directly after, since Numby needs those 2 advances in order to be advanced 100% to attack the enemy. So I could see Dr. Ratio and Topaz being really nice for his synergy. I can also see Dr. Ratio being pretty strong with other imaginary characters as well. Potentially Welt, since Welt can inflict speed debuffs, and if you do pair Yukong, she can increase the imaginary damage of the team, attack, crit rate, and crit damage. So this can potentially be pretty nice, and when it comes to Dr. Ratio, you want to pair him with someone who can inflict debuffs, so that Dr. Ratio can get his crit rate and crit damage buffs, and be able to consistently hit enemies with his follow-up attacks directly after his skill. He may also be nice maybe on a damage over time comp, since damage over time inflicted onto an enemy is considered a debuff, so Dr. Ratio can take advantage of that. But if the entire comp feels a bit rough on release when it comes to damage over time, then just adding a debuffer who can debuff in numerous ways to stack the debuffs on an enemy will be pretty good. Some great debuffers are Gwenifin, Pela, Silverwolf, and of course much more, potentially even Black Swan depending on what she does, since she is also Nihility, so that maybe could be an option too. I feel like Dr. Ratio though will be pretty nice for a dual DPS comp depending on who you want to use with him, so that potential is there as well. As for why I should believe you should consider building Dr. Ratio, I feel like he's an awesome option for those who like imaginary damage dealers, since we don't actually have too many imaginary characters, and if you don't have Don Honkai, then Dr. Ratio could fit a role of an imaginary damage dealer for your account. This is even better if you are a newer player who doesn't have many options for DPSs, and I have been getting a few questions actually in my comments regarding should you build Xueyi or should you build Dr. Ratio so you get both in the case of pulling Xueyi. And honestly, I think that both can be worth investing into since you can use each one on different sides of Memory of Chaos for 2 teams, so this can be pretty good for your account. If you have Topaz, I'd definitely recommend considering Dr. Ratio and building him for that synergy together, since I do believe it'll be pretty strong. And of course, if you simply like Dr. Ratio, his personality, his kit, whatever it may be, then that's also a great reason to invest into him. However, giving us a free Dr. Ratio definitely benefits a bunch of players' accounts, since a lot of us may not have a bunch of damage dealers, or may also be new from the PlayStation release, so I think this is a great gift for all players for sure. As for potential builds, you can go with the follow-up set, the imaginary set, or potentially also Musketeer, since Musketeer is pretty universal with a lot of our damage dealers. I can see the Nerd Salcedo set being pretty good for him though, for the crit rate increase and also follow-up and ultimate damage increase. Potential light cones would be sword play since you can multi-hit an enemy with Dr. Ratio's skill and follow-up attack. The only issue would be the downtime of the damage buff you get when you swap enemies. Cruising the Stellar Sea is always nice for free-to-play players. Another option could be if you do have this light cone and somehow have a spare, Topaz's light cone would be pretty nice for the crit rate increase, follow-up damage by 30%, and also the team state, which is great for more crit damage. Of course though, his signature will likely be the best bet, but I'll let you guys know how valuable that light cone is once we officially know what it does, and if it's worth you actually pulling for his signature light cone. That'll be all though for my thoughts on Dr. Ratio. Let me know if you guys plan to build him, and who do you plan to use him with if you do end up building him. I'll be releasing a preparation for Dr. Ratio likely sometime soon, so you guys can know what to potentially go for. But I just wanted to discuss his kit, potentially who his kit could be nice with, and also my thoughts on him being free and who it benefits. I hope all you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and like always, I hope you all have a nice one. Peace.